Hey makeup friends, I have got some new products to play around with, so I thought that I would do that while just doing a chit chat get ready with me. I have no idea what I'm about to talk about, so this should be an interesting ride for both of us. So let's get into it. Alright, welcome back to my channel guys, or if you are new here, then welcome. My name is Kara. I'm a 40-year-old working mom of two, and makeup is my happy place. On my channel we like to mix beauty, brains, and the occasional F-bomb, so if that sounds like something you're interested in, I invite you to hit that subscribe button. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to get my hair out of my face, and I'm going to use my fun little reindeer hair clips to do that, because it's just seasonally appropriate. Here we go. I got these off Zulily, but I don't know what brand actually makes them, but they are stinking cute. Love it. All right, now that that's done, we can move into primer. I'm going to use the Smashbox Photo Finish Radiance Primer. And what are we going to talk about? Well, let's address the elephant in the room, which is that our area where we live is going back into lockdown on Christmas Eve. Yay! I have closed my office for the holidays, so there's no immediate impact on me, but we are considered essential. If you're new here and are not familiar, I am a lawyer by trade, so I own my own law firm with my partner. So we've been sending a few text messages back and forth today, just saying, you know, basically we'll worry about it in a week's time when we're starting to get ready to reopen, but we'll probably end up doing shifts at the office, which will also help because my husband, Barry, works with us. He is the glue that holds our entire office together. There are 4 lawyers, and then he is the support staff to all 4 currently. We have plans to hire somebody else in the new year, but we need things to sort of settle down first before we can really move towards that. All right, foundation. I'm going to use the Hello Happy Soft Blur Foundation from Benefit. I have it in shade 2. So yeah, we're a little bit stressed about this, but we will make it work. We made it work before, we will make it work again. And work is very busy right now, so we can't just shut our office down, and like I said, we are considered essential, so we can remain open. It just means that we're probably not going to have any more clients into the office, even for signing documents. Everything is going to move remote. We've started already like locking our door while we're in during the day so that people can only come in by appointment, because for whatever reason people just like to walk in and just say, hey, I'd like to see a lawyer. I'm like, hey, that's not how it works, but okay. So we've had to lock our door. We'll manage. We managed in the spring. We can do some stuff remotely from home, but my biggest concern is whether or not the schools are going to be closed. Because Aspen is in grade 3, and already, frankly, her work is a little bit tricky for me. Like some of her math stuff, I'm like, how do you count anymore? I don't understand these like number blocks things. I'm like, what? This isn't math, this is art. What? So I've been struggling with some of the way in which they're taught. So doing the remote teaching thing is going to be super fun. But the bigger concern for me is that Bennett's daycare is in the school that Aspen attends. And if they close the school, they're going to close the daycare. Aspen's pretty self-sufficient. She could come to the office with us and sit in one of our spare offices and do her work there. She'd be fine. Bennett, on the other hand, oh hell no. I cannot have a 3.5-year-old running around my office. He would not do well in that scenario. So I think that's where the shifts are going to come into play, which basically means that Barry and I probably won't see each other very much until the lockdown is over, but we'll have to split it up, and he'll go in the morning, or I'll go in the morning. The other one will stay home with the kids, and then we'll switch off, and we will make it work. just like everybody else who has to deal with this is making it work, but it's certainly not easy. I'm going to use this one here. This is the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. I have it in shade 2N. I've been using a sample of it, but I just recently redeemed some Shoppers Drug Mart points, so I picked this one up for free. And some of the other products I'm going to use today were also part of that order. God, I love Shoppers Drug Mart. Love their point system. Anyways, I hope that if you are used to having big family Christmases and you're not going to be able to do that this year, I hope that you're handling that well. I can see that it would be really difficult, especially for people who don't get to see their family very often and really look forward to this time of year for doing that. It's going to be crappy all around, that's for sure. But we make the best of what we've got, right? And do what we can. I think it all comes into that whole, like, grant me the, what is it? The serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Is that what it is? I think so. And that's sort of where it comes down to, it is what it is, but it's certainly far from ideal. I really like this concealer. I still need to put it to the test a little bit more, but I like the amount of coverage that it gives. I think this is like the perfect shade match for me. And it blends out really nicely too. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the bristle off my face. I'm going to set my concealer with a little bit of Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. So yeah, I'm curious to know what some of your favorite products were. Off the top of my head, I know that BH Cosmetics, their eyeshadow palettes are going to be in my list. They were like a sleeper to me. Like, I had no idea that they had the kind of quality that they do. And then, I think it was Angelica Nyquist, I was talking about the Blueberry Muffin palette, so I was like, alright, well, if you love it, I'll give it a go. Oh my god, it was like opening Pandora's box, and now I want every single palette that they've put out, because that one, the Smitten in Switzerland, the Avocado Toast, the Cherry on Top, like they're so good. And I was so happy that they restocked their Sweet Shop palettes. I picked up 3 more. So now I'll have all of them except the neutral one, because I had to draw the line somewhere and neutral just wasn't as exciting to me. Okay, bronzer. Let's do bronzer. I am going to use this one here from Tarte. This is the Breezy Cream Bronzer in Seychelles. And there she is. I don't know if this video is going to go up first or my cheek product collection video, but I did film a cheek product collection and you will see that very soon. If it's up already, I will do my best to remember to put a little card up here so you can easily navigate to it. And if it's coming soon, then you'll see it when it comes to the channel. I got really good feedback on the eyeshadow palette video that I did, so thank you for that. Especially to the person who commented on the audio of the, or the volume of the music in the background. It's really helpful feedback. I mess around with stuff in editing and I try to make sure that background music isn't too loud. I don't use it very often, but like, it's an hour-long video, so I wanted you guys to have something more to listen to than just me droning on about eyeshadows. But sometimes once I've like rendered it in editing, it translates a bit differently, and sometimes the audio is not quite at the same level as what I expect it to be. So I appreciate when you guys give me feedback like that, especially when you do it nicely. You're not like, wow, your audio is really jacked. That's not really helpful, but to the person who commented that, thank you very much, because it's helpful feedback for me, because I want you guys to enjoy watching these videos, and if you're struggling to hear, then that's not super helpful, so help me help you. Okay, for blush, I'm going to use this one from Shiseido. This is one of the, what is this called? Minimalist Whipped Powder Blush, and I have it in the shade number 3, Momoko, I believe. I'm not sure. This one was just delivered as part of my Shoppers Drug Mart order as well. It looks a little questionable in the jar, not gonna lie, but we shall apply it and see. I'm just going to take it off of the inner lid thing here because there's still product up there. It's like a pretty burnt peachy kind of shade, like a burnt apricot? Apricot? I don't know. Let's see how we do. It's got like just a hint of shimmer in there, just like the tiniest amount. It's not really, like I can see it more on my finger, and when I swatched it on the back of my hand earlier. Oh, she's pretty. I like that. It blended out so nicely too, but has a good amount of pigmentation. I could build it up if I wanted to, but I'm liking where it's at right now. There's no stickiness to it. That's really pretty. And I freaking love Shoppers Drug Mart, let me tell you. It was like a bonus point redemption. I didn't have enough for like the top tier, but if you cashed in 100,000 points, instead of getting $100 off your order, you got $140 off. And so I built my cart, and it was $141 on the button. So I paid $1 towards all of this, plus the tax on it. But because I am status Indian, Native Canadian, I'm allowed to say status Indian. That's what the card says. It's not offensive. Well, it is offensive, but legally speaking, that's what it is. I get some of the tax back as well. So I paid like $8 for all of this stuff. It's fantastic. I love Shoppers Drug Mart, and I love this blush. All right, so the highlighter that I'm going to use then is Holy Chic from Vive. I have not tried this one yet. I've just kind of done a few little finger swatches, but it looks so pretty. A YouTuber named Altogether Alana, she sent this to me, which is so sweet of her. So Alana, thank you so much. She just figured it was too dark for her, but it might work on me because I have a deeper skin tone than her. And I've got dust where I don't want dust. There we go. Oh, it's so pretty. It's not glittery at all, and it works so nicely on my skin tone. I think this is the medium shade. She has like 3 shade options available. Just for reference, I'm like in MAC shades, I'm an NC20, and this is working out really nicely for me. It's not pulling too gold at all. That's so pretty. Hey, thank you again, Alana. Thank you so much. Not only for this, but for the amazing chocolate treats that she included as well for me. Love Galaxy chocolate. Oh my goodness. That is such a pretty highlighter. Yay, love that. Beautiful. Okay, brows. I'm going to use the Tint and Tame Brow Gel from Sigma, and I have it in the shade Dark. This one is definitely dark. This one's super intense. Kind of have to pay attention while I'm doing this, or else it's altogether too much. But it certainly does hold the brows in place, which, especially this one, gets to be a little bit of a punk every now and then, and the brows all like to like grow downwards instead of up. So having a strong hold is helpful. All right, so now it's time for eyes. I have already primed using the Nars eyeshadow primer, and we're gonna go in with this palette here from Wayne Goss. This is the Pearl Moonstone palette, and there are the shades inside. Fun fact, I did not order this palette. I ordered the Viseart Violette palette. I'm gonna go in with this shade here. I'm gonna use an E25 from Sigma. So yeah, I ordered the Violette palette, and my Beautylish order arrived a couple of days ago. I haven't had a chance to play with this one yet, but it arrived a couple of days ago, and I opened it up and there was no Viseart palette, but there was this Wayne Goss palette and 2 of his eye pencils. So I looked at the packing slip, and it was for a lady named Diana who lives in England. So Diana, I hope that you enjoy my Viseart palette, because we shall soon see if I enjoy your Wayne Goss palette. So I emailed Beautylish right away and was just like, here's the order number that I received. This was my actual order number. Fix it, please. So they told me that I could keep this stuff, and they have reshipped my Violette palette, and I just got a FedEx notification as I was filming that it should be delivered today. So here we are. We get a bonus palette, so I thought I would play with it on camera. I will say, I mean, this shade is beautiful. Like, this is gorgeous. There's a reason that I didn't order this palette though. I don't know about this color story. I really don't. And then I have finger swatched it. I'm not sold on it. We'll see how it applies. It's just these two shades here, this one and this one. This one I can barely even see on my skin. They're lackluster, at least in the finger swatches. The mattes, like this gray, is blending out really, really beautiful. I think that his matte formula is fantastic. I was a little salty to see that he did include another black shade in this palette, because it was my understanding that he had reversed his position on that and was no longer going to be including a black in every palette that he puts forward, which I think is a good call because you're only getting 6 shades. So if there's a black in every one, it's redundant, it's not necessary. However, I will say that this black is more like a really deep charcoal. Like, it's not a true black. It looks black in the pan, but swatched out, especially compared to the black in his other, the Imperial Topaz palette, it doesn't hold a candle to that one. But as a really deep gray, that is what it is. So I don't know. I think a navy instead of a really like deep charcoal would have been a nice addition, given the overall blue undertones going on. But I can't fault his matte formula. I mean, it's blending really nicely. All right, I'm going to deepen things up a little bit with this shade down here, and I'm going to use the Wayne Goss brush number 19 for that. If you hear background noise, my daughter is home. She was playing on her iPad, but I can hear her walking around upstairs. Let's build that up, because right now it's looking very much like the same color. You know what? I'll bump you in so you can see better. How's that? Sorry. Apparently I'm new. Let's build that up a bit, but it's... Let's see. I want to love this palette. I really, really want to love it. Especially because it was just a bonus palette. And because I really loved his first one, like the neutral one, I loved it. Just something about the color story in this one. I don't know, I think this shade is throwing me. I don't really know what to do with that shade. If it was matte, I might have a better time with it, or just a little bit more peachy. But it's so light that it just doesn't translate on my skin. And I am not particularly deep, so... You know, I was going to do a halo eye, but I think I want as much of that blue on my eyelids as possible, because I think that's going to be the show stealer for sure. So I'm not going to take this onto the inner portion of my lid. I'm just going to keep it out here. And then I'll deepen it up with that really dark shade in just a moment. Okay. I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to pick up that really dark shade over here and run it under the lower lash line and build up the outer corner of my eyelids. I'll say it again, I cannot fault his matte formula. They blend so nicely. Hi. Thank you. husband of the year. Husband of the year. He'll come and say hi in just a moment. He's finishing up some last minute Christmas shopping for the kids.
Walmart was very fun, by the way.
Oh, I can only imagine. Here, come say hello. I'm just doing like a get ready with me thing.
Hi, everybody.
There's my guy.
You look stunning as always.
Thank you, darling. I love you.
I like your little earrings.
I know. I got my Santa earrings. I've got my reindeers on. Like I am
You're so
festive AF.
fucking festive.
You know what? The dark gray is working. I know I said I'd prefer a navy, but it's working. I am just constantly impressed by his matte shadows. So good. All right, it is time to play. I am going to use this Delium 773 shading blender brush. It's just a nice flat brush. And let's go in without setting spray first and see how we get on. And then I can always boost it up if I want to. Let's just pat that into place. Gosh, so pretty. Yeah, I definitely want to boost it up with a little bit of setting spray. So I'm going to use some Fix Plus on that. I forgot to hold on to my butt. Oh my goodness. There is the star of the show for sure. Okay, that is so pretty. I find it's translating a little bit deeper on the eyes than it looks like it will in the pan. Am I crazy? I don't know. Am I crazy? Possibly. Maybe it's just because it's surrounded by all the dark, but I actually like that. I like that it's a little bit on the deeper side because it just plays nicely with the dark grays. Okay, that blue has sold me. I still don't know what in the F to do with this shade, but like I don't care. I'm not going to use it. This, oh my god, it's so pretty. All right, I was super skeptical. You might have been able to pick that up. I was super skeptical about this palette, but holy shit, it's so pretty. Okay, inner corner. Go in with this one. I could try this one. And just, I'm worried that that's going to be too deep on the inner corner. And I'm worried that that like is not going to do anything. I'm going to try this one, but we might have to bring in the highlighter for it. Which I don't really mind. I do that a lot, but now I got to clean my fingers. All right, I'm going to use another Delium Tools brush. This one is the 716 Smoky Eyeliner brush. But I like it because it's really nice and precise. There, if I hold it up against my hair, you can see it better. There you go. Maybe, oh, anyways, you get the idea. All right. I don't like this shadow. I don't like this one. I don't understand the point of it. Somebody please educate me. What am I supposed to do with this shadow? It's not doing anything in the inner corner. Like that is not doing squat all. Ugh, fuck it, no. And I'm not going to use the gray because I think it's just going to be too deep. So I'm just going to go back to the Vive highlighter and pick that up instead. Like that, at least you can see. Maybe something even icier in there would work. Like this one has a little bit of gold to it, but something a little bit more silvery might have been even better. Let me see. The holiday one from MAC. This one is Let It Glow. And I mean, you really can't get any icier than that. So I'm just gonna pick up a little bit. We're just playing at this point. And stick that in there. There it is. There it is. That just plays nicely off of those cooler tones. There. There we go. Okay, thank you, Mac. All right. Now, so for me, I'm not super pissy that, in my opinion, these two shades are just kind of useless because I didn't pay for the palette, right? Had I paid for the palette though, I would be pissy because that is a third of the palette that I don't like. The other 4 shades, fucking gorgeous. Could have been a quad. Would have been perfectly happy with that. So, I mean, if you're on the fence about it, I can't really push you over either way, except you're going to have to decide if the price of this is worth it for you for 4 shades that are amazing. And 2 that are, like this one I think you can work with. Like this one at least shows up. It's not bad, it's just, I don't know, I don't know. Like, it's not exciting, I think is my problem, is that it's just kind of like there, but like what does it bring to the table? Not a whole hell of a lot, frankly. I think had he done this kind of formula with this kind of shade, or even with this kind of shade, this especially, because gray and pink together, so beautiful. But just with the finish that it is, like, I don't know. I can't say it's a bad palette because the mattes are fantastic and this blue is gorgeous, but you're gonna have to decide price point wise whether you're okay with 2 shades that are just kind of like and the 4 others are fantastic. So I will leave that to you because it's your money, not mine. Okay, I'm going to do liner and mascara, and then I will throw something on my lips and we will wrap this up with a little bow. All right, and there are the eyes finished. I was super skeptical about this palette, but it's really pretty. Like I said, I think it could have been a quad, but I think it's beautiful. I will definitely use this again, for sure. It's not going to become a daily, like, everyday palette, but this is like the perfect date night look. This is so gorgeous. Holy shit. I love it. Okay, lips. I'm debating. Could go like bright, bright red. And then it's an awful lot, but it'd be super dramatic and super pretty. Or I could play up sort of like the peachy tone in the cheeks and go for this one from Nars in the shade Mathilde. Mathilde it is. I just recently did a video with the new Claudette collection from Nars. Oh my gosh, it's so, so nice. It's so good. And these lipsticks. I only got the 1 shade, but it's such a beautiful finish. Also, can you leave me your lip scrub recommendations, please, in the comments, because I need one. I wear lip balm every night, but now that it's winter and the furnace is on, my lips are like, they're super dry. And I got like little patches that I just can't get rid of. Oh, I love this lipstick so much. Love it. All right, there it is. I know I started off super chatty and then just like, but I really don't have an awful lot to say. My life lately has been work, kids, filming, repeat. And I'm not complaining about that. It is what it is. It's totally fine, but it means that I don't have an awful lot to talk about. Unless I talk to you about like my work struggles, but like confidentiality. You know what I mean? Anyways, there it is. I have to say the standouts for me are definitely the blush. Really happy with this. I think it's so pretty. And like there's no stickiness whatsoever. Like it's gorgeous. And particularly the blue shade in this palette. So Beautylish, thank you for fucking up. I appreciate. I like when I am the recipient of free things. Oh, I did use the eye pencil in my waterline. So I used Intense Sapphire. Is that what it's called? Something Sapphire. Blue Sapphire. It's just like a regular kohl pencil. Fine. It showed up. Didn't tug, it wasn't super dry. It's a pencil. Like it's a pencil. I don't know. I can't rave about it. It's nice, but like it's a pencil. So there it is. There it is. I usually ask you guys like a question in this, but I can't think of anything aside from lip scrub recommendations, please, because I'm desperate. So rather than belabor this even longer, I'm just going to wrap it up here. Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.